There's voices from inside the gem.
There's voices from inside the gem.
There's voices from inside the
You
gem.
know that. You haven't told me that.
Speaking
I
of
did.
which, guys, welcome back to Mythris, episode 3. It's been a little while. Last we left our two beastie boys over here.
Rawr.
They had
Rawr.
quite the what's the word I'm looking for? Morning, evening, afternoon, whatever you call it. Dreas found out something about the harbor master. Stolt found out a little bit more about this weird elf person that looks like his mentor that keeps following him around. He also spent the entire day avoiding the bar / mistress's pit. Speaking of which, Max fought in the pit to one of the people that took him and Stolt, beat the living crap out of him, had him revived, taken into the office space area, beat the shit out of him again, took him to Stolt, who was waiting outside on the road, and
Okay,
they
beating
proceeded
the
to.
shit out of
Because
him
he and I
is
got in a fight because I scarred a dude.
Also, he scarred the guy who
Okay.
looks like his
saying
mentor, and then
after he
turned
got
the guy into a Genasi glow stick.
okay. No, after he got revived. Saying that I just beat the shit out of him is a drastic understatement. That man has like 2 bones in his body that are not broken.
Also, they have a gem now, which is about the size of, I would say, probably a baseball. And as soon as Dreas touched it, he heard whispers and voices coming from it. And that's where we left them in the field. Late at night, by the way, Stolt was trying to sleep.
I was going to break it, but I don't know if I want to anymore.
Why?
There's voices coming from inside the gem.
Is this more to do with your raps?
No.
I stick up my hand like, well, hand it over.
I'll hand it over.
Do I hear anything from it?
Nope.
I'm gonna put this by itself in my backpack because I trust him, but at the same time, I don't trust the
him.
wrap. No, I don't trust the wraps around his
Got
wrists. And I'm like, these rocks are talking to him now. He might be telling the truth, but it might be the wraps. So keep this by itself, but also watch him.
I hold my hand back out. I want to see if I can hear what they're saying.
In the morning. Fair. It's
We're
late.
leaving in the morning.
There's now blood everywhere.
We should probably take care of that first. Put it somewhere that's not in the middle of... Let's tuck it away somewhere.
That's a warning. You don't hide warnings. I'm going to take my claw and in this person's chest, I stole people.
Make a dexterity check. Just give me a straight dexterity roll.
Oh, the squish. 9.
9. It's somewhat legible, but also it's his chest. He's completely red, for one. He's completely broken for another. And how you shoved him ass first onto your glaive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely.
No, it was my pike.
Your pike. Yeah,
The glaive has a blade versus the pike just being a...
Yeah, as you shoved him on, how do you explain it? He got, like, threaded, essentially.
I Vlad the Impaler him.
Yeah, so his pike came out basically from the esophagus area.
He was skewered.
Yeah, skewered.
Shish kebabbed.
He shish kebabbed. That's a good word. He shish kebabbed him. Shish kebabbed a fire ganassi.
He shouldn't fuck with things that he's not supposed to.
Well, we're leaving in the morning.
All right. Is there any signposts?
About a half mile up the road, further up the road, if you kept walking, there's a signpost. You can't read it from
All right.
this distance, but yes.
I'm gonna drag him to the signpost and then throw his body on there and remove my pike.
Okay, so you're going to treat him like a bindle over your shoulder, take him to the signpost, and
No,
toss him
the
over.
pike is still in him, so chunk.
Yeah,
Body
he's
flopping back here.
basically a bindle on the end of
Yep.
his pike.
And then I'm gonna
Fantastic.
hang him on the sign.
Scarecrow style. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
The the sign
Fucked up message for a fucked up crime.
the sign reads an arrow pointing towards Gloom Harbor. It says Gloom Harbor, and an arrow pointing the other way that says what did I name my main city place thing?
There was Spring Coast, Arbor Grove, Summer Rock, Night Hollow, Gloom Harbor, Embertide.
Embertide. That one. Thank you. I have too many pages in my notes. Yes. So you guys just gonna camp out? You gonna head back to the inn? What are you doing? Head back to the bar?
Grace is gonna go back to the bar.
Which one? Brothers or mistresses?
Mythris.
Okay. What's Stolt doing? Is he following?
Did he wait for me to walk a half mile, throw a body on a sign, and then come back?
I would have gone with you because I didn't know what you were trying to do with the body. I was just well.
I toss it on the sign and go, I'm leaving the warning. I want my pike. I need to clean this.
I'm going to the bar. I'm gonna get some rest.
I'm gonna go to the waterfront and then I'm gonna join you at the bar. This is gross.
Alright, so you guys walk back into town basically the entire way, and then once you get to the cutoff point, Stolt goes down towards the water and Andreas continues on towards the bar. Stolt, we'll start with you. It's dark, it's late, it's at this point, it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night, so you go to the water and start washing off your pike, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything else, or just want to wash it off?
I'm just washing it off, and I'm gonna give that stone another look-see and wonder why it only spoke to him if it really speaks, and if it doesn't speak, just kind of try and appraise its value.
Okay, make an Arcana check for me.
Gonna 13.
13, and give me a investigation check.
21.
21. All right. 1 second. Can Max
you guys
hear me?
don't hear my dice rolling, right?
No, and Max cannot hear me. Can you?
Can you hear her?
Yeah, he can.
Because that's not how that works, Ellie.
I'm trying to just deafen, please. Is he actually deaf? Because I don't see it on Discord that he's deafened. He's deafened. With your Arcana check, you do get the faint sense of some magical energy in it. And for a moment, as you're inspecting it, you see an island. That's it. For just a moment, you see this island.
Anything of note about the island, or is it just like
It's
a random castaway island that's just like...
It's a flash and it's gone. You can just tell because it's in the middle of nowhere. It didn't look like Vesper. It didn't look like this main continent. It's
nothing stuck out about it. It's just a random castaway, just small island off in the middle of I don't know where.
Hmm.
No identifying marks from the flash that I would have been able to pick up on.
A lot of vegetation, a lot of plant life, but not jungle plant. Like, as if it was a stunning, like, did you ever see The Secret Garden? No. Well, very much like a very stunning garden from that brief little flash you got.
Hmm.
Anything else you can do?
Again, I'm gonna wrap it up, put it back in the backpack by itself, and make sure that the pike is completely clean before drying it and leaving.
Okay. Yeah, it's clean. Didn't miss any blood. You're pretty particular with your weapons. You do
It wasn't the
notice.
blood I was worried about.
Mm, you do also notice that the from where you're standing on the Pebble Beach, the harbor master's house is there's a light on in what you could assume is his office space. It's just something else you notice. All the other houses around you are pretty dark, but his has a light on in what you could assume is his office. That's all.
Do I see any shadows in the light?
Make a perception check, considering how far away the house is for you.
20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You can see the figure of what you can assume is the harbor master from his bigger build pacing back and forth between the window.
Okay, that's not concerning. I'm gonna head back to the bar.
Okay. Dreas, you get to the bar. The patrons are all but either cleared out or drunk at this point, so there's only about a handful left. Um, the pit's closed up and empty and it's raked. What do you do?
Anyone still amongst the bar? Larissa, perhaps? Any of the others?
You as you walk in, you catch a glimpse of her, but she's up on the what's the word I'm looking for?
Balcony?
Balcony area, walking into a door. You catch a glimpse and you see like a desk and some shelves before the door closes behind her. You see Adam tending one of the bars. The other tiefling male running back and forth, trying to get things organized.
I'll go over to Adam and I'll nod upwards and I'll say, she has an office?
Yeah. I mean, would you expect her to just sleep in the middle of the pit?
I mean, room, not office?
Uh, she's probably fallen asleep in there a couple of times. But as far as bedroom, home, he kind of leans in on the bar a little bit and quiets his voice down so people can't hear the few patrons that are still around. He says, ever since her dad died, she hasn't gone back to that home.
Or the stairs?
He points around the back of the bar. Um, it's the bar top, it's the bar back, and then behind that there's a way you can get up. It's kind of hidden off to the side. You don't really see it from any easy perspective. He's just pointing around behind him.
I'll go up.
Okay.
When I get to the door, I'll just give the door a knock.
Okay. Who is it?
Big guy, kind of furry.
Come on in.
I'll walk in.
You see she's straightening herself up, kind of fixing her hair slightly, just pulling it into a ponytail and tapping on her armor. And you watch the Sorry, not armor. Clothes, and you see the wings disappear. Well, that was an interesting fight that you had. Did you have fun? I guess that's a very odd way of saying this, but yes, did you have fun?
It was nice at first. Let off a little steam. He didn't have much fight though.
Underlings rarely do, let's be honest. They're paid, they're not really well taken care of or protected. So,
Not going home for the night.
no. A lot more work to do here. Can't just go home just yet.
Do you ever go home?
Occasionally, yes. I mean, I go home late after I've finished my work in, evening or early hours. You can go make an insight check if you want.
I already know she's lying.
Yeah, she's lying through her fucking teeth. Make an insight check for me, though. Real quick. Just see how well you can read this. I'm not looking at it. What did you get?
An 11.
An 11. From as defensive and as she's being, because she's not trying exactly to completely, hide the fact that you probably know, the fact that you asked. Can assume she probably hasn't, actually gone home from what Adam said from the last 6 months. And she's just kind of rummaging, trying to look like she's busy at the moment, trying to do work as she's milling about the office. You can see now that you're in the room, it's decently big. It's about the size of maybe like a small studio apartment. She's got a desk. So one corner is her desk, and she's got some bookshelves. Another corner is like a very small, almost kitchen-like setup with a table. And then behind a privacy screen, you can see a bed. That's very hastily made. Like just the blanket just thrown over it.
Seems like you have a lot of nothing to keep yourself busy with.
That's not true. I have the books to do. I have the tilt account. Lots needs to get done before I can,
Go home.
Exactly.
Not there. Right?
What are you talking about?
You don't need to lie to me.
Why does it concern you? Whether I sleep here or there or whatnot.
To have a place you can call your own.
Well, this is the place I call my own. It's named after me. It was given to me and left to me. It is my own.
That's separate from work.
My life is my work.
Funny.
Wasn't trying to be funny. I mean, you were
How
a
about
pit.
this?
You were a pit owner. I mean, you know what it's like. Rarely ever did you want to leave.
But I went home. Every day.
She just moves a few more books on her desk. Tidies up a couple papers that don't really need to be tidied. Sets the books on the shelves.
Why don't you go back?
Go back where?
Home.
Because it's not my home anymore.
How is it not yours?
Because home is not a building. It's not a place. Home is a person.
Don't give me all of this right now. You have a place that you once shared with someone that was close to you, and you're just giving it up,
I'm not giving it up. I just.
letting it collect dust, lay to waste, waiting for it to fall apart, waiting to forget about it. Something that you're never going to be able to forget about. It's like that one thing sitting in the back of your mind, just that itch you can't scratch. I've been there. No matter how many times I want to stay late at my pit, no matter how many times I decided, hey, what if I stayed open for the night? Some night fighters, some guys ballsy enough or drunk enough would come through the pit, make some extra coin. I always
Dreas,
had to
this
go back.
goes much deeper than you understand. It goes so much deeper. I'm not letting it fall to ruin or collect dust.
Then how about this? You can tell me about it while I walk you home.
You'll just be walking me in a circle around my pit. This is my home.
The place you used to share with your dad.
Is not my home anymore. You're not going to let this go, are you?
Do I seem that defeated yet?
She sits on her desk.
I'm
You
leaving.
are all the same. Stubborn, hard-headed, and very determined. Since you're not going to let it go, she puts down what she was working on and opens the door. Lead the way.
Point it to me, and I'll take you.
Lead the way out of the Lead a way out of this establishment, and then I'll tell you the story as we walk, and maybe you'll understand.
I'll start walking. I'll say, me and the furball are leaving tomorrow morning. I wasn't going to leave. Something like that. I guess the rock unturned. I guess at this point it's not exactly a rock, is it?
It's not a rock. As you guys walk down the stairs, Stolt, you walk into the bar, seeing Dreas and Larissa walking towards the door. Oh, good evening.
We leave tomorrow.
He
Whatever
meant-
you do, do not take too long. Where's the skinny man from behind the counter that I can get a drink from?
Behind the counter.
He's still behind the counter at this late?
He's cleaning.
Ah.
He goes home whenever he wants, so he'll lock up when he leaves. Until then,
Seems he's as dependent on this place as you. I will leave you to your escapade, and I am to get a drink. Good night.
good night. She walks out of the bar.
He's got no idea what's going on. He
Yeah.
thinks you two are doing the deed.
I know.
He thinks y'all are walking off to do the deed, and he's just like, you guys have fun. My furry ass is getting drunk. Kidding. I'm just gonna ask for a bunch of water and turn it into holy water with ceremony.
There you go.
I'll turn around and say, don't drink it all before I get back.
I don't drink at all. So how could I drink it all?
I try and make a joke And this is why I think he's more fur than brains.
Coming from the one who's struck in the head daily, that's a big insult.
You find anything out about that rock?
We'll talk about it later. Less ears, the better.
I still think I can smell your pike from here, and I'll walk out.
I could chuck it at you. I mean, you really want to snip this?
Anyway, you order some water from Adam. You turn it into holy water. How much holy water are you trying to make?
How much am I able to? Would you say I would be able to put it into vials or something to
How many
keep
vials do you
and
have?
put away? I do not have any vials. Would I be able to get a tankard and turn it all into holy water inside the tankard, like a grab and go kind of resealable tankard?
Got it. Yeah, you'll get charged 2 silver for the tankard if you're keeping it.
Yes,
So
I
two
am to
silver.
keep it.
Yes, they'll only charge you 2 silver for the tankard, and as he puts it in front of you with the water in it, you notice the front of it. So the opposite of the handle has the crest of the pit on it, which is a set of horns and a little devilish tail in between.
Mm.
With what you can also see is so those are like painted on, but carved into the metal is a set of wings.
Mm.
So the crest is basically represents Larissa to the best possible.
Yeah.
So Larissa's standing outside the bar waiting for you.
How big is the tankard?
It's
So I can
about
give a proper size on the description of
a
it.
half gallon. He gave you a bigger one because
Half gallon.
I'd
Oh,
assume you'd kind of explain.
that's a lot of holy water.
I'd explain you. I think. Well, would you like a half gallon, or do you want like a quarter gallon?
Half gallon's fine. I mean, I'm big enough to carry it. It's not a big deal, but I was just saying that's a lot of holy water.
So Larissa's waiting for you on the outside of the bar to talk to him. You come out. Was he insinuating anything with his comment of whatever it was?
Don't worry about it.
How are you two best friends?
I don't know either.
Okay. Moving on. Like I promised, she starts walking towards the water. It's not my home anymore because my father doesn't live there anymore. And he's not alive anymore to live in that house and be in that position. My father was the previous harbor master. So he's not living in that home anymore. So it's not my home anymore. And she stops near the edge of the street where you guys can see the harbor master's house, and she just looks up to it before she walks down the steps towards to the pebble beach and sticks her feet in the water.
Yeah, I'll follow her down, but I won't go down to the water. I'll just sort of stay back.
The current harbor master was his disciple, was in training to be the next harbor master, and took the position when news of his death came. So I have not been home since his death. When I took you there, that was the first time in 6 months I had stepped into that place.
Sorry for bringing up another sore subject, but it wouldn't hurt you if you lived a little comfortably.
I live perfectly comfortably, and the fact that I live where I work allows me to pay my employees a better living wage because I don't have to pay for a home. It's all bundled into one. I'm perfectly comfortable. She's being half truthful.
I, I, he, I already figured that much.
Mm-hmm. So you said you're leaving in the morning. Where are you off to?
Was
Were you headed south or were you headed east?
it was towards from he was from Spring to the harbor, so which way was opposite Spring Post?
Opposite Spring Post would have been. Let me just pull up my page. If you're going more inland, northeast, it would be Arbor Grove.
Then it was Arbor Grove. Headed towards Arbor Grove.
Got it.
The clock guy. Tick tock, tick tock.
Yes, that
Started
thing.
from Spring, came to the harbor. We started from Spring Post.
It makes sense considering what I told you before, if you remember.
Don't need to say anything else. I figure he may be moving that way.
Why would you figure that?
Well, he came from Spring Post to here.
But why do you think he's going to Arbor Grove?
Because he left a note kind of mentioning he was going inland.
Alright. Better be safe, better be careful.
No promises, but do you have anything in your dad's?
A couple of trinkets. Why?
On you?
They're back at my room.
I'd like to try something, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. She starts heading back. She kind of shakes her foot out a little bit from the wetness. You know, she doesn't wear shoes. If ever. The 3 days you've known her, she's not once worn shoes. There's something. My most treasured possession. Well, his most treasured possession. I did not receive when he died because I was not able to go to Spring Post to retrieve his body. So he's still in Spring Post. His body is. They haven't buried it. I need to go there one of these days to retrieve his body and bring it back here to give him a proper burial. Harbor Master's always buried at sea. So the fact that he's not in the ocean is, it's kind of interesting to think about. A tiefling as a harbor master, or creatures normally associated with hell and fire and brimstone and evil, getting buried at sea.
What brought the harbor master inland?
But him going south. He wanted his love was always the fighting bit. Was that bar. And after he had trained the current harbor master well enough, he decided to give him a chance to prove himself on his own. So he used that opportunity to travel. No one knew he was the harbor master. It's more of a position of mystery. So there was always a harbor master. No one knew it was him. So the title passes on and on and on and on.
I'll sort of put my hand out. Anything of his?
She goes to... You guys get back to the bar at this point. I'm assuming you're asking that when you get back to the bar?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Stolt currently in his ceremony ritual turning this holy water. You can see it's slight blue energy magic coming from his hands at the moment. She heads upstairs, goes to the shelf, moves a few books to the side, opens a secret compartment, and pulls out a little wooden box. And from it, he pulls a pocket watch.
He's holding his hand out.
She opens it for him and puts it in the hand. And it says on the inside, the inscription, it's written in common. To my love, you will be with me forever and all time. K. Just the letter K. My mother gave it to him on their wedding day. It's long stopped working, considering how old it is, but he always kept it. Never left it out of his sight.
Drace is gonna... He's going to close it, and he's gonna close his hands over it.
Okay.
He's gonna take a deep breath in. He's gonna hold it while he's thinking. He's gonna say in his head, Astaya Shire, please guide me to his spirit.
Romulo. Hi, Johnny. What did you get a 1? I gotta see this. Hang on a moment.
Yep.
You got a 1?
Skated over it. It skated over a 19. It was a 1.
You close your eyes, you take the deep breath, you say the silent prayer. Nothing.
I hear fucking spit in the back of my head.
You hear, who's this Vastaya Shire you keep asking about? That's what you hear.
In my head, I make sure I say, they're who my people get their power from. Why we're bestial. Some of us can use magic, so others can't.
Did they answer you?
Nope.
Hmm. Maybe you're not asking hard enough.
Maybe not. I try only to ask of them when it's something more meaningful
Hmm.
because of what I am to other Vistaya. Not the spirits, but the people.
What are you to
I'm
them?
sure an outcast.
Well, maybe they'd be more. This Vestitia would be more receptive if you stopped hating that part of yourself and embracing it. Just because other people hate it about you doesn't mean you have to.
I don't hate it about myself.
You sure?
I hate the people that outcasted my mother for following her own will. They outcasted her for love. They drove her out because of love. I don't
Hmm.
hate them. I don't hate myself. I hate what they did and who they did it to.
Even though you say all the time that you hate using the language.
I don't like using it.
Hmm. That kind of sounds like hating yourself.
I
Oh,
mean,
hey,
also,
mom's calling me. And he goes quiet.
if someone knows the language and they're not Vistaya, they're likely there to hunt me.
Jerry doesn't respond. Mom called him. That's more important than you.
I sort of finish off with that, and I'll open my hand back up and I'll hand back the stopwatch
Stopwatch.
or the
Pocket watch.
pocket watch. I hand it back.
She takes it. You see, as you open your hand back up, the image you didn't look at before, but on the front of it, it's carved a very beautiful, old classic ship. She takes it back and just holds it for a moment.
I didn't hear anything this time.
Hear anything?
I guess I'd rather tell you than leave you in the dark. I asked for help to guide me to your father's spirit,
Like asking a deity.
so to speak.
You know, it's funny. Uh, I wear the holy symbol to Arathis, the scales, simply because my father was a follower of her. You know, law and order and everything. But I've never truly believed in the gods, to a degree. And my faith and belief in them has wavered since his passing.
Well, I know that I may not be what one called religious, but I believe in them because they make up or they are essentially half of what I am.
Yeah, my people came from the
Just
hells, so it makes sense why I wouldn't believe in the gods.
there's a force that sort of binds my people together, and it's through these spirits. They don't exist on this plane, but to know that my people exist today is proof enough to me that they do. I know they may not be what the conventional god is, the miracle worker. They did bestow upon power, just as Stolt follows his deity, and his deity grants
God.
him his power. Um, I'm not granted power by them, but I still ask because I don't know where their limits lie. I don't ask for power. Funny enough, I haven't asked for more money, but
Well, the worst thing you could hear is no. Because there's no crime in asking a question. For
I
example,
just try and hold that piece, that part of me, in some higher regard. Because I know it is what makes me
you.
special. That's one way to put it.
Will you be partaking in the tournament?
I don't think I have an option at this point.
You always have an option. You don't have to partake in it.
He cracks his knuckles as he nods his head.
Two things. First, the pitmaster in Arbor Grove, which is the pit is called the Forest because it's on the edge of the forest. I mean, very original. Akon. He is a green-scaled dragonborn who wields nature magic. The pit is not just for those who use punches. It's any form of combat is legal. So just be mindful.
I've seen some nature magic in my day. It's been a while, though.
Second thing, and I'm leaving this option up to you, because I am one of the pits that you're going to have to fight and defeat to get my crest to compete in the championship in Embertide. Are you going to come back to fight me? Or she reaches onto the desk and holds out a crest. Do you want to skip the formalities?
He takes it out of her hand, puts on the desk, and slides it back.
I thought you were going to do that.
I plan to win a fair fight. Well, I guess not a fair fight. I plan to win fair and square.
She stands up and holds her hand out. I look forward to the day that you come back and fight me. And I hope you win. I want to see you succeed.
Well, I have some time to kill before I can get back to Vesper.
Don't kill too many people. If you don't have to.
No promises.
If you don't have to.
If they ask for it, they ask for it.
Oh, like that one Genasi did.
I asked him to surrender. I said, yield. And he said, I'm not a coward. Before I cracked his skull. I proceeded to crack everything but his collarbone.
Colin told me.
I found out what I needed to find out.
Good. She's still holding her hand out, by the way.
I like to shake.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
He'll put his hand in deeper and he'll grab the deep forearm.
She goes for the forearm as well. I see something special in you, Dreas. It could be this Vestayan magic, but I'm not sure. It's like I see a young version of my father. Even up until his death, he was punching and kicking and having a good old time. He wasn't that old when he died. He was only about 40. So, on Arathis and on my father, when you come back, when we fight, when you win, I'm going to go with you to the capital, and I'm going to sponsor you as you go. Having a sponsor, especially a pit master, means more coin in the pocket. And I'm going to help you get back home.
I can hear the rattling of coins already.
She releases your forearm.
I wish I could get back sooner.
Well, fight, win, find this TikTok shit, and get home. I will help you get there. Because this mother of yours sounds like an amazing woman I would love to meet one day.
She is much stronger than I am. I can say that much. Not in... Actually, in physical sense, she's very comparable to me. Because she's, full blood. But she's been through a lot.
The heart wants what the heart wants. So, the fact that she was exiled based on the person she fell in love with, even I don't like that. I've never liked that. I mean, my mother and father are a perfect example. Human woman, tiefling male. How do you think that looked? And my mother was a noble woman from Embertide, too. And she gallivanted and ran away.
The only other exile outcast I know about. My mother told me that he's the only person I would really have to worry about if the Vastaya were ever to come after me.
Who is that?
Like Stolt, but a very adept hunter. Raised by humans. He has a soft spot for them. If you ever choose to venture out past the pit, and you somehow wander into his territory, turn the other way.
This is in Vesper or here on the main continent?
To be honest, I don't know where he dwells.
Good to know. Does this kitty cat have a name?
Rengar.
I'll keep that in mind. Rest well, Dres, and I wish you safe travels when you do leave.
When I come back, I'll be looking forward to that duel. And I'll start walking towards the door. I say, and get yourself a better bed.
I bet it's just fine.
I can see the way you're standing up. You got a crick in your neck.
I had a fight today. What do you expect?
You fight every day. It's no different.
Get out, and she slams the door in your face. You just hear from behind the door, fucking piece of shit asshole, I hate him.
Would I have heard her slam the door from downstairs?
Yes, because from where you're sitting, so your seat is here. Her office is literally like right there. Maybe 35 feet from you. Just up and that way.
Just you see me come down the stairs.
He sees you out on the outside of the door, get the door slammed in your face, then you walk this
Disappointing
way.
in the ring and the bed?
Bed?
Were you not copulating?
I haven't. With any woman.
Woman, man, whatever you're into, not my business. You're more than friendly after picking your teeth up from in her ring.
I stuck my nose.
And she's more than friendly after knocking your teeth out in her ring.
We dug up some of her past.
I suppose you'll be back here eventually.
Well, I need to beat
Despite
her.
the fights.
I need to beat her to get to the capital ring.
Beat her and better, that's your plan? I'm giving you shit. You don't have enough game for that. Alright. Around for our little lovesick puppy over here.
Adam just shakes his head and puts a tankard down. Are you gonna be drinking that holy water, or do you want another cup of water for you to drink? Or tea?
Tea.
Black tea or green tea?
Green tea, it's late.
Alright, you watch as he takes some mints and steeps them and puts an ale down for Andreas.
I'll pick it up and say, maybe someday you'll find someone like I'm looking for.
Do you see me? Do you see everyone else around us? I'm sure not many people are as willing as your parents to copulate between the species.
Someone who will accept you for you. He'll.
Oh, I do that already. He's thick in the head, okay? He picks up on shit, but he doesn't understand.
This is why you'll never find love. And I'll take it.
I'm looking for my
Constitution saving
mentor. I'm not looking for that business.
7.
You take a nice big gulp, and as soon as you swallow, you feel a very intense burning sensation in your mouth.
Just all this.
As you cough, you both watch as a little bit of smoke comes out of his mouth. It's there for about 10 seconds, and then it's gone.
No scales.
It worked.
Not part Dragonborn.
Adam.
You coughed.
Adam gets excited. It worked. Ha!
I don't want the tea anymore.
No, the tea. No. The tea is safe. It was the ale. I'm experimenting on something.
And
tea is safe.
You didn't warn?
No. Why would I? It was fun.
So why should I trust you that the tea is safe?
He picks up a cup from the same thing that he was. He steeped a full pot, so he pours himself some. And I'm trying to make a dragon's breath ale. It worked.
Warn someone. If they have weak lungs, that could kill them. I take the tea and inspect it closely before sipping it at all.
It's delicious. No dragon's breath.
Oh no.
I'll take whatever's
I'm
left.
inspecting it.
Okay.
I'll throw it back.
Nat 1!
You both got nat ones again.
Seems about right. I guess.
It's
I
Just
think at that
start
point you don't
drinking
think
the
it's
tea.
tea. I don't think you you don't think it's tears.
My investigation failed. I wouldn't be able to detect anything wrong with it at all. I'm just like, okay, this is. Yeah, I watched him do it. There shouldn't be anything weird.
you kick back the rest of your ale.
And then I'll just
Nothing. Okay, so it only happens for the first down. Okay, gotta work on that. See, do I want it to just be for the first sip, or should it be for the entire time?
no, I'm disappointed.
It's experimental. I'm working on it. Shut up.
This is why you're still here, I presume?
Late at night, I get to work on my craft. What?
To each their own.
Hmm.
Enjoy your craft.
I mean, I've got another one that I call the fairy site. If you want to try that.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm gonna go find somewhere looking comfy to lay down.
He pulls a key out and says, "Fourth room on the right." He points
You
to the.
have rooms here?
He
And
points.
you let me sleep on a bar?
He didn't
I can't
ask.
blame you. I wouldn't wake me up either.
He
I
point
grabbed the key.
he points up and he points 3 doors past the one that he got slammed out of Larissa's office space. That's the one. Sorry, left, not right.
Alright. I walk up and
As you walk up, you hear him say to Dress, "So are you staying in Larissa's room, or should I give you one of your own?"
there is an audible slap sound as I slap my thigh and bend over and start chuckling. Like he's in on it too.
How about you go check on it yourself?
On what?
I didn't know Larissa was that way.
I didn't know either.
I'm married, dude.
And you're still here? Your wife must be a wonderful person.
My wife's not home.
The fuck, do you both just work all the time and never see each other since marriage?
No, she goes on expeditions. She's a researcher. She's in Crescent Isle right now on research, so she's gone for the next couple of months.
Crescent Isle.
Crescent Isle's to the north.
Vegetation? What's it like there? Do you know?
It's I've been once. It's very pretty. Lots of mountains. Alabaster is very common there. Moonstone's very common there.
Oh, never mind.
Also, it's enchanted, so it's constantly like dusk. Except apparently there's like no stars right now, which is weird. Usually there's lots of stars, but there's no stars.
I'm gonna sleep where I slept last night.
In the pit?
Where else?
Alright, to each their own.
I don't plan to be on the floor of this pit again. I'm going to treasure the precious moments.
So you're not coming back to fight or to get your ass kicked?
No, I'm gonna go fight every other fighting ring, get all the seals, come back, just so I can keel over and lick these floors, while she proceeds to kick my ass.
Great. Sounds fantastic. I will be betting on you then for that.
You're into some weird shit. And I close the door behind me and fucking just start taking my armor off for bed.
Right. You know, he's not wrong. I mean, I'm married to a tabaxi after all. I mean, I don't know, so.
I'm used to sleeping on the ground.
He just starts going back
Not what
to
I
his
was
work.
referring to.
He just starts going back to his work. Right, did you guys want to do anything else tonight, or are you just skip into the next morning?
If it's skipping to the next morning, I'm putting my armor back on and going downstairs.
Skipping the next morning.
All right, I need both of you to roll me raw luck.
Is someone going to die in the city?
Yes.
14.
5.
Got that
14 and
squish.
5.
Got
Um,
that squish.
Dreas, you wake up with sand in so many orifices. It's like you're drooled, and then it got into your hair, and it's in your ears, and it's just all up on the side of your face. You know, you decided to sleep in a sand pit. Good on you. Stolt. As you were sleeping, your consciousness was pulled away to an island.
Okay, do I
You
have to be
Okay.
touching the stone for this to happen? Because I did remove my gear before getting in bed. So
Let
it's
me know
all
when
at
to
the
come
foot
back.
of the
Come back.
bed.
you're hovering over this island, looking down at it. You can see that it's pretty decent size. It's not like a giant island by any means, but it's definitely maybe just slightly smaller than Vesper. Beautiful almond trees, cherry trees, bushes, plants, flowers, vines, everything. It's like a druid's dream almost, if you were to look at it in that kind of perspective, you know? Like druid crafted everything everywhere. And you see incorporeal forms, figures. For moments here and there, they have shape of humanoid, goblinoid, creature, animal, and they're all laying about, milling about, in sight, out of sight. And then you get pulled down to a almost a dock like thing. It's literally just a very large log that sits sideways, and you can put your feet in the water. You see one figure has more of a solid form than any other. No color really to anything. They're all just like this crystally blue. But you make out semi-short hair and a starburst birthmark on the neck. And a very familiar holy symbol before you're pulled back and you wake up.
How do I wake up? Was that like panic inducing the way it happened, or was that just
How would
it's a slow pull away kind of deal?
kind of a slow pull away, as in you're like almost with arm's reach, and then it fades away from you, and then darkness, and then you open your eyes in the room that you have for the day. You fell asleep in. You hear the seagulls and the ocean outside. So yeah, I think you'd wake up with a slight start.
Um, what are some of the like more detailed things about the island itself besides the fact that it's fairly tropical and druidic?
Um,
Would I be able would I be able to tell like
for,
what its shape was? So if I saw it, since I was above it, would I be able to see it on a map and recognize that's that?
it had no real discerning shape to it. It just seemed like it was kind of awkward, weird shaped. It's got no like distinguished, like it looks like a boot like Italy or anything like that. But it was more, I guess.
Would I be able to pick out the shape If I saw it on a map, is my main question, since I did see it from above.
Yeah, probably. Um, the only other thing that would have been distinguished was that the water was completely still. There was no movement, no waves, nothing. And it was about midday, is what the sky and the sun, like, about where it sat. Johnny says, I like Max's edgy anime here he's got going on right now. He's muted.
He honestly looks like he's got no eyes.
A little bit. Like the anime characters whose hair is always just covering their face.
Who are in the not so appropriate animes.
Mm. Or Chad from Bleach.
Or Chad from now he looks just a little off.
Yeah, it just looks weird. And so
all right, so I gotta check something real quick in my inventory.
right?
Save me the back.
Do you want me to come back to you?
I don't have anything to write with or anything to write on. Damn. Well, it was fresh in my head. I was going to try and sketch the shape. That way I could find it on a map later and just kind of like mesh up the shape to it and go, this, there.
Got it.
How do I get here?
Got it.
But I don't have anything to do that with. So I'm just going to throw on my stuff and as I'm walking out of the room, I'm going to shout down to the pit, I'm going to find a map and I'm going to just go out and go to the harbor masters and be like, do you have maps of islands out to sea?
Right. Dreas Stoltz's voice saying, I'm going to find a map is what startles you and wakes you up from your sleep. You can see Stolt, by the way, when you look down and yell at him, he is just covered in sand.
This is not
exactly
unusual.
Yeah.
This is exactly
This is
what
not
happens.
unusual.
To be... Okay, sorry. Alright, so you head off to the harbor master?
Yes.
Okay.
Because my brain says he is the master of the harbor. He would know the ocean. He would know maps.
Got it. And what's Dreas doing is Stolt dashes out of the building as fast as he can.
So he dusts himself off.
Sands himself off. Because it's not dust.
Brushes himself off.
Mm-hmm.
He gets up, he'll walk back, or he'll start going down to the beach. So kind of following Stolt, but also kind of not.
Got it.
Once he gets down to the beach, he's gonna take off his stuff, take off his jacket, and he's gonna go back to shadow boxing.
Alright, sounds good.
And he's just gonna do that for a little bit.
Stolt, you get to the harbor masters, you knock on the door. A couple of minutes pass, and the human male answers. It's like, may I help you this morning?
Maps.
Yes. About them.
Do you have them or know where I could find them?
We have some here. Is there one in particular you'd like to look at?
I'm looking for a particular island. I do not know its name, but I know what it looks like. So may I peruse your maps?
Come on in and I'll help you find the one that you need. And he takes you not to the office, but to a separate room off to the side. And you can see that there's many different papers and parchments rolled up, and there's a large desk in the middle. And he says, just stand right there. I'll bring them over. They're organized in a particular way. So if you don't mind me just pulling them out for you. He goes over to
Do as you do.
Goes over to one shelf, pulls out a very large, thick rolled parchment, undoes the tie, and lays it out, puts a couple of heavy objects on the corners to hold it down. You see that it is a map of kind of almost a world map. It's got Ventus in the middle, which is kind of shaped almost like the United States, but it's got a little bit more crags and cracks in it. And next to that, to the southwest, is Vesper, which is very much like an archipelago looking island, being in a swamp, so it's not always perfectly, dry land. And then to the north is Crescent Isle, which is actually shaped like a crescent, and then it's got a little more island outcropping off to the side. So it's a large crescent and then tiny little islands below it, or pieces of land below it. And that's it. That's all this map has. So this is a map of the 3 continents.
This is so general. I need more detail and obscure lands. Not large land masses, but the secluded island out in the ocean, fairly tropical. Almost infused with natural magic.
The only semi-tropical island out in the middle of the ocean would be Vesper. There are no other secluded islands.
Do you have a blown-up map of Vesper?
He leaves that one on, goes to the shelves, pulls one, opens it. Slightly smaller map, but it's just Vesper. And it's basically the same thing, just kind of zoomed in a little bit. There's not really any regions in Vesper. It's just one big, island or land mass. So
it's a singular solid landmass. No little offshoot micro islands by themselves. Fairly close.
Nope. You would know that the continent of Vesper is literally just sitting on the water surface itself, basically, because it's swamp. So
closer to tropical, not swamp.
That's hi, Polar. No, we've not discovered anything of that sort.
Have you a paper I can use?
Sure. Give me just a moment,
and keep.
Give me a moment, and he leaves the room, comes back a couple minutes later, and gives you basically what's a map case. It's like, this is different sizes of paper. Not sure which size you need or what you'd like to do, but there's plenty. And if you do discover this island of yours that you're searching for, feel free to jot it down. And there's writing utensils on the inside as well.
What do I owe you?
Nothing. If this is for discovery, then we do not charge for this kind of thing. We're adventurers. Well, at least the sailors are adventurers. So, if you're ever discovering anything, all we ask is that once you discover it, you bring your findings back and we can copy it. That's all.
We should make our way back this way eventually.
All right, then.
I immediately remove one of the smaller papers and, best of my memory, draw the shape of the island.
He removes the other 2 maps so you don't mark those up. And I'll draw it out as best I can later on and send you a picture of it.
No performance check? No anything from me? Because my character is trying to do it off memory alone.
It's only been about an hour since you woke up, so go ahead and make me a...
because my character doesn't have the one thing that allows flawless recall.
Yeah, keen mind.
Yeah.
Make me a straight intelligence check then.
Fucking 4.
To the best of your ability, you get it jotted down from this rough dream, where in dreams you only remember certain aspects for a limited amount of time. You get kind of the general shape ish. You do remember the part where you saw that one figure on the dock ish area. So you kind of get that section pretty good, and then the rest of it's just like, what was the fucking shape again?
If it came to me once, it'll come to me again. I roll it up and put it back into the cartographer's case and just thank him and wander out.
All right. Wander out. Not hard to see Dreas on the beach shadowboxing.
Half naked.
Half naked shadowboxing.
Yep.
You catch a very faint glimpse of that ox for a moment as you look at him, and then you turn your head away and you turn back, and he's gone.
I blamed you. Hold on. And I pull out the family heirloom again.
The stone? Okay.
You showed me an island. I dreamed of an island. Is it you?
Brought me roll luck.
7.
7? Nothing.
I figured as much. While I'm waiting on him to finish up his Shadowbox routine, I'm going to try to commune with Dodd and ask him if he knows what the object I hold is.
Okay.
Or if he knows of something similar.
Got it. That's the wrong thing that I needed. 1 second. Oop. Do you like sit down or something? Are you just standing there waiting and watching him do his thing?
That in one hand, clutching the symbol of Dodd in the other,
Okay.
and just asking for any bit of help that can be given.
You feel
Any minor detail he would know.
roll me a religion check with advantage.
Cool, because that's not something I'm proficient in. Nat 1 and 17.
Good thing I gave you the fucking advantage, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're asking
Good.
your god. You've got, the symbol. You're one of the few followers left. As you're standing there holding it, are your eyes open or closed? As you ask.
I'm staring at the object in my hand.
Okay. You see nothing.
Hyper focusing.
You see nothing, but as you ask the question, you feel a hand touch yours that's holding the stone. Like this. It's comforting. It's a presence you haven't felt in a while. It's always there, but you haven't actually felt him in a while. You just hear for a moment. It's the key to something. Keep it safe. Don't smash it. It'll be useful eventually. Shepherd's blessings. And the energy's gone.
Did I recognize the voice?
Yeah, spoke to you once long ago. Spoken to you every so often. Helps guide you when you're doing your ceremony. When you're taking souls to him. Or sending souls to him.
Hmm. Key.
Make me a perception check.
7.
7.
That's really
You're-
good. You gave me advantage.
Your dice curse. Jeez.
He's bad at D&D.
He is. He's just
I'm
terrible at
so
D&D.
bad.
Yeah.
D&D requires a little bit of brain, a lot of bit of luck. I got none of the second.
All you needed was a 10.
What do you mean? You got neither.
I got the littlest brain available. I know how to breathe without thinking about it.
Moving on.
You're thinking about it now, ain't you?
Sometimes.
So,
Alright, moving on.
yep. Andreas, you do notice him standing there holding his symbol, holding the stone in his hand. Hyper focused in on it. As
Hey.
you're shadow boxing.
He's sort of gonna brush it off, and he's gonna do something that he's tried once before,
Mm-hmm.
long time ago.
Okay.
So he's going to stop, his shadow boxing. He's going to take in a deep breath, let it out, take another deep breath. He's going to bring his body in, sort of like tightening his body down into his right fist. The best way, as the feeling that he would describe it as, he's concentrating his blood
Are you
into
trying
his
to do
fist.
Sets W or something?
Shabangas.
Shimbingus. 1 second, guys. Bad looking thing for a moment. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Just a couple things around. There we go. Okay.
He's gonna take a deep breath in. He's sort of gonna try and focus in, and then he's just gonna one swift punch outward
What direction? Towards the
towards
water?
the water.
Okay.
No, he's gonna aim it straight at Stolt. And anything else? No.
Break my shit.
Vamivola.
Roll.
Should have known this was
10.
coming. 10. As you go to punch forward, nothing.
I always try and focus on my blood, but it doesn't work. This is something I need to ask Mom.
You have a mom?
I say in my head, yeah, I have a mom.
What's she like? She's probably not as cool as Mom.
I mean, I don't know. She's pretty cool. She's really sweet, kind. She is very accepting. She is one without hate. I cannot say the same.
'Cause you hate your dad?
I mean, a little, yeah. I mean, I assume so.
He sits down on his butt like a dog does.
I think so. She definitely doesn't. I just say that to make myself feel better about hating him. It's just she is a very kind soul. Too much so for her own good sometimes.
Hmm. Sounds nice. Oh, hey. Your furry friend one is here. It's weird he can see me sometimes. I
Can he
wonder
hear
why
you
that is.
sometimes?
I don't know. I haven't tried. Hey, furry one.
Do I hear that?
She's rawing Roluck.
For a moment, you hear furry one. But you don't see where it's coming from, but you do hear furry one.
Okay, then he would just brush it off because a lot of people call him Furry One because he's so big
Okay.
and furry.
No, I don't think it worked. I don't think he can hear me. He can see me sometimes. I wonder why that is. Hmm.
Well, he's doing his religion thing.
I can't really shrug at that. I mean, being a favorite
Um,
animal of the deities, you know, and all that.
I mean, you don't gotta understand it.
Well,
To
I
be
mean,
fair, it's not something that I'll ever understand.
hmm.
Speaking that, I sort of believe in spirits rather than deities or gods.
I would
Well,
assume you'd believe in a spirit you're talking to one.
Nope,
I mean,
he's
I guess
just
you could
crazy.
call them deities. I don't know what they are.
I don't want to be a deity. They have too much responsibility. I just gotta worry about you. He stands up and he walks towards the water and vanishes.
That's a lot of responsibility.
I'll start
He doesn't
gathering my
fucking
things
know that.
together. Uh, yeah, just gather my things together. Stolt, you ready to head out? Take care of your business.
Little Mr. TikTok.
All right. Um, head to the gate.
One second. You heard voices from, and I pull out the keystone again from this. It has
Yes.
now shown me an island, and Dodd has confirmed that this is a key of some kind. I reach my hand out.
I'll
See if you can hear it again.
I'll take it.
Make me a wisdom save.
Oh God.
Your favorite thing, Max? Wisdom saves.
5.
My cheeks feel like they about to clap.
5. You take it in your hand. You hear whispers. Can't distinguish any actual words that are being said. They're all just jumbled, mushed together, different languages.
Can I pick out any Vistayan words?
Perception check.
9.
9. No. It's all just crazy, jumbled. Like, it's even hard to pick out the common in there. It
It,
lasts for about 30 seconds, and then the voices quiet down. That was really noisy. What was that?
sounded like my pit. To be honest, I don't know, but I haven't had that many voices in my head in a long time.
Sorry, I'll head out. Cause quiet.
No, not you. Just
Oh.
I doubted the spirits that I kind of like follow,
Mm-hmm.
and they all yelled at me at once. I was very young. It didn't feel good. My mom said I was feral for a couple days.
Ah. You didn't
Oh,
hurt her, did you?
oh no, she beat the shit out of me.
Okay.
I was very small at that age, and she is.
You were small? That doesn't make sense to me. I can't see you small.
I was young, and she is part Wolverine. I'll hand it back to him. I couldn't pick out anything, just lots of noise.
We'll try again another time.
Make me a wisdom saving throw again, Dreas.
Me?
Nope,
Oh,
Dreas.
him.
Sorry, reloading it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I was.
Okay. As you go to hand it back, there's a moment where your hand recoils, and then you put it in Stolt's hand.
Like what in recoils in what way?
So as in, you go to hand it back, and your hand just jolts back for a second, like you didn't even have any control over it.
I'll hand it back. You can take it back. I don't want it.
Yeah, maybe you don't touch this anymore. And I put it back in the backpack.
Just I
It
don't
was
know
a
what that
lot
was.
of noise, and you lost control of your arm.
Yeah, that wasn't me. Just a lot of voices. I heard a lot of voices. You ready to get
Desperate.
you ready to get going?
Yeah.
Right? You guys head back to the gate, pay your fare, to head towards Arbor Grove. The carriage is there waiting for you with the driver. Um, you guys start to head out. The roads are well traveled. You can see the wheel marks, divots, yeah, hoof prints of many different animals, footprints of many different people. You guys travel for the driver. I can't remember the name I gave him.
You didn't
Neither
give a
can.
name to this one.
Okay,
You gave a name to the original one, which was the one going towards Springport, but then we
right,
decided not to go to Springport.
right. This is a half elf male taking you. He says it's going to be about with stopping at night to give the horse a rest. It's going to be about 2 days to Arbor Grove.
Well, aren't we a mixed bag?
So I don't know if there's anything you guys want to talk about on this first day. You guys are going to be on the road for about 9 hours before he stops for the night.
While we're on the road, since the guy driving us is facing forward, do I notice any? I'm noticeably looking for that mark, that little rune or whatever it was, on the back of his neck that the tiefling had. Or not the tiefling, the Genasi.
The Genasi?
They're red skinned.
Make an investigation check. Are you trying to be stealthy about this?
I'm not. I mean, I'm just looking at the back of his neck.
Okay. Trying to touch him.
I'm not like bending his neck
Got
to
it.
look at it.
He's not taking my approach, which would be grab the back of the head, force it down, and remove the hair.
11.
11. No mark.
At some time during the trip, I'd look over to Stolt.
You guys have a pretty spacious wagon. It's the two of you in a wagon that's meant for about 6. So you guys have room to spread out and relax, considering it's, a couple of
Do
days.
you have any idea for
I'm laid out
like
on one of the benches if it's benches.
Yep, the benches.
you have any good first approach or first step to try and find our boy, our guy? I guess we don't know our person. TikTok.
At this point, I'm limited to the ability of a shark. I'm literally just able to smell blood. I'm just gonna go around and see if I can find a concentrated source and get any more information.
For the rest of the journey, Dre has to be quiet, but every once in a while, he'd sort of sit down and he'd close his eyes, sort of he'd slow his breathing. He's trying to listen. He's trying to pretty much tune into the very finite things he can hear along the journey.
Okay.
And if there's anything that sticks out,
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check with advantage because you're focusing on listening with your ears.
there it is. There's the 22, nat 20.
Nat 20. Hey, he had to redeem himself after the nat ones. The first leg of this journey is relatively quiet. You hear insects, trees rustling, bushes rustling, birds, squirrels, forest creatures. Later in the evening, as the driver's slowing the cart, pulling it off to the side, getting a campfire going, and starting to cook a meal, you hear a howl of a wolf deeper into the forest, but it sounds like a young wolf. It doesn't have that deep howl yet. And you also hear Investian from a certain pocket of your companion. Help us. Help us. Help her. Exactly that volume too.
He would literally just say out loud, "Help who?"
Help yourself to some cheesecake. It's on the table.
And then I'll sort of, because I was sort of hyper focused. I sort of
Is Stolt awake or asleep right now?
Stolt's asleep. That was him sleep talking.
Got it.
There's not a table. We're in the back of a wagon.
I'd try and go for the gem.
Okay. Are you trying to be stealthy about it so not to wake him up?
I plan to shove it in his mouth the second I find it. Yes, I'm going to be sneaky about it, or try to.
Roll sleight of hand to pull it out of his bag.
6.
6. Stolt, make me a perception check with disadvantage. You are asleep.
I think even if you rolled a 1, he'd still notice.
It's either 17. 5. Because I
He
did
rolled
roll
a
a 1.
1.
I don't redeem myself. I just keep gaining speed as I go downhill till I fall off a cliff.
How is this possible? Like, how?
I warned you, my dice curse is terrible.
It's because you're using those
Like I
fucking meaty
legitimately
dice.
So I'm legitimately happy that
no.
I'm okay. I'm happy that we play D&D remotely then, because my dice rolls have not been as bad since you haven't been here.
It's because this motherfucker's using those meaty ass dice.
I love the sloppy, squishy
You
sound.
you go to pull the gem out. Stolt shifts and snores loudly. Jesus, cheesecake. Is fast asleep.
Still got a sweet tooth.
I'm from the Amazon. All right. He's gonna ask, save who, or like quietly.
Make me a. Roll me luck. Here comes the 2. 7.
Yep. 6.
6.
Poof.
No response.
He's gonna say in Vestayan, what do I not understand about you?
Roll me luck.
I don't know how to do it. 12.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I saw it.
Okay.
You hear back in Vestayan. And an androgynous voice. You can't really tell if it's male or female. Much you don't understand.
In Vestayan. Then who do I save?
Them. It goes quiet.
He'll.
Make me a perception check.
Seven.
None.
I tuck it back in Stolt's bag.
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
13.
13. You go to put it in the bag, and you don't want to. Instead, your hand instinctually moves to put it inside your coat pocket. There's something about this gem, you need to keep it close to you.
At this point, Dreas would drop it. He wouldn't try. He would just drop it.
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Shit.
18.
18. You're able to let go of it, and it drops. Make me another perception
Oh
check.
yeah. It's nighttime. The cart's not moving.
Nope.
God. It didn't get dropped out
Stolt,
into
make
the
me another
fucking
perception
bag.
check.
Squishy. 8.
8.
All this below 10 business.
I know.
I'm going to reach in, grab or I guess he had it wrapped in his bag.
No. Since
he
it gave
didn't
me the
wrap it back
vision
up.
and Dodd did the thing with it and told me that it was a key, I didn't rewrap it.
I'm gonna dig in, like get a with a sheet for my bedroll, sort of like wad it up over my hand and tuck it back into his bag, and then leave it.
Okay.
Um, a big boy is gonna ask the spirits again, see if they respond. He's going to take his deep breath and he'll say out loud in Vistayan, what do I do with this gem?
Raw luck. Odell, perception check.
All right. Well, if that'll go away. There we go. Squishy 13.
You wake up to him saying something in Vistine. He's being a little loud.
I grab my bag and I hop out of the back of the wagon. I'm like, I'm gonna sleep in the grass. Don't let him leave without me. You're noisy as shit. Fucking tuck myself down into like the side of the road and just kind of
Got it.
back to sleep.
Andreas, as you ask a question, you hear back a familiar voice, one you grew up listening to constantly over and over again, both harsh and loving. The gem will bring them home.
Who is them?
There's no answer.
Bedtime. He's going to bed. He's sleeping it off. He doesn't like that he didn't want to put the gem back.
Okay. You guys go to sleep. You wake up the next morning. The driver is ready when you guys are ready to get up. At the crack of dawn is when he's up, but he's ready to go when he sees you're both there. Because he can see the big cat still snoring in the grass, so he's just waiting, making sure the horses are all comfortable and ready to go.
All right. Yep. I load up into it.
Up and Adam stole.
What was your raw luck again?
Mine
Who's?
was
16. Retcon
16.
something real quick. As you sleep, Dreas, your consciousness is pulled from you. You're taken to what feels like Vesper again. That same place you're still searching for that thing. You come around a corner. Instead of seeing Jerry there, you see a very familiar female figure. Long pinkish purple hair. Very nice robes. Back to you. But you recognize this individual. She's smaller than you now, considering how big you've gotten over the years. She looks... This woman who looked gigantic growing up now looks so small. And this puts it into perspective for the first time in this dream of how small she really is.
He runs up and tries to sweep her off her feet.
As soon as you run up and try and wrap your arms around, you're pulled away from the dream. And you wake up in the cart, falling off the cart. that falling sensation that wakes you up.
Do I fall onto Stolt?
No, because
No,
you were
because
in
I
the back of
walked
the
away
cart
from
and
the
he
cart
walked
and I'm
away.
in the ditch.
Yeah.
Well, you just hear
You,
if you don't wake up, you just hear.
he would hear it.
Ugh.
You see
I'm
him
up.
face
Cart
first
time.
in the dirt.
Glad I chose to sleep down here then. Fucking grab my bag and jump back into the cart and put it back at
I don't
the
like
back of
that
the cart.
gem. I don't like that gem.
You're real opinionated today about a gem.
Because I suddenly feel like I don't want to let you keep it.
I'm keeping it.
No,
Do
you're
I
keeping
need to
it.
keep it where you can't touch it?
That's
Where
fine.
are the
Just
voices from it too much for you?
no. Just you. It called to me as if I wanted to keep it. I don't want to keep it. I know that. I don't like it. You keep it. And I heard
Ellie,
some
just for
weird
numbers,
voices.
Hmm?
just for numbers wise, how many flasks worth would my half-gallon resealable tankard hold?
Flasks?
Yeah, how many flasks worth?
Give her.
Because holy water is usually given in a flask.
Yeah, about 5.
About 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I currently have 10d6 holy damage if I throw that at something, because that's what a flask of holy water will do.
There you go.
And just I heard a voice, distinct, something about saving them. I reached out for clarification, and all I got was more confusion. There's too much we don't know.
I don't know where we are. All I know is the name of the place we're going. I don't even know what it's supposed to look like. And you're talking about too much we don't know.
I'm
We've both
talking.
been nestled away into the swamp and your bar for the majority of both of our lives. There's a lot neither of us know. So new experiences, good or bad, will fill in the blanks.
I'm
You
talking
are
about the
apparently having a bad
supernatural.
experience with this rock, so I'm going to keep it where you can't touch it. And
I'm
if you
talking
do,
about the
I'll know right away.
supernatural,
I
dummy.
stuff the rock down the front of my pants.
You can keep those voices by your dick. I don't care. I'm talking about the supernatural.
Hey, if you reach for it, I'll know. If you go for it again, I'll know. If they start calling to you and you need to get at it that bad, I'll know. It's the perfect spot for it.
Fucking
Might be
weird.
uncomfortable. It's going to make you think twice about going for it, though, isn't it?
I don't want to go for it. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's the point in putting it there.
Whether or not it was there, I didn't want to go for it. I made that very clear,
You,
didn't I?
yes, but you also didn't want to give it back the other day for no reason. And then apparently you went through my things at night, so you're not able to control yourself. So I need to put this somewhere where if you go for it, I wake up.
What do you mean went through your things?
It was in my bag.
I never
You
said I
shouldn't
touched
have
it.
touched it.
I never said I touched it. I said it was calling to
I
me.
didn't wrap it.
I didn't wrap it.
You put it in a cloth and put it in my bag. I
I
didn't put it in
used
any kind of
I
cloth.
You
used my
use the cloth to
bedroll.
touch it.
I used the cloth to touch it, so I wasn't physically touching it.
Okay, that's where
That's
I
why I clarified whether or
misheard.
not it was wrapped or not, because I wasn't gonna.
No.
I'm covering up my evidence. All right, we retcon a
Okay,
little bit.
but you did it. You did admit that you had been drawn to it by voices. So I'm gonna put it somewhere that if the voices become too much and you feel the need to go for it, I'm going to know.
You heard something about it being a key. I heard something about
I didn't hear.
needing to save them.
My God said.
You heard. Um,
It's more telepathic than audible.
you perceived. So it's a key. You know it's a key. You're under what you were told. It's a key. I was told to save them. I have no clue what that means. And for some reason, I had a vision of my mom last night. I don't
Hmm.
know.
I'm not fully sure myself.
As you guys are,
Joyce is gonna tightly grip the bench as they get on their merry way.
you guys have been on your merry way as this conversation's been going.
Oh, he tightens his grip on the bench.
All right. As you guys go on, um, second leg of the journey goes uneventful. It's your last night on the road, and then by noon in the tomorrow, you'll be inside Arbor Grove. Is there anything you guys want to do in particular tonight? Does Stolt ever look at that letter that he was given? Are you ever gonna read it? Because I actually took some time to write out what it says, and you're never gonna read it.
He's being a Venus.
He is.
He'll probably read it when he comes to terms with it and or finds his old caretaker's body that hasn't been laid to rest yet. Until the job is done, he doesn't want to know the last words because he doesn't want to regret not being able to do the job.
Joyce wants to go hunting. It's been a little bit since he actually had to. Just sort of vision of his mom, a little bit of reminiscing of how he taught her, she taught him to hunt.
What does he want to try?
Yes, the
Until
child taught the parent to search for food.
What does he want to hunt for, in particular?
um, he'd be looking for probably a buck. You know, classic signs of trying to look for scat,
Mm-hmm.
trail, or at least
Does Stolt go with him,
prints.
or does Stolt stay on his own?
Uh, Stolt's gonna hang back.
Okay.
And he's gonna use that time to, now that he doesn't know, take that uncomfortable stone out of his pants and hide it in his bag in an extra, like, inside the cartographer's tube. He's going to take all the stuff out, drop it into the bottom, and stuff everything on top of it. Now he doesn't know where it is. If he grabs my junk, I know he's trying for the rock, and there's problems because that's the last place he understands that it was.
Hey, your junk's looking a little small today.
Why you been scoping the business?
Travis, make me a survival check to see if you can find a deer or a buck.
10.
10. Takes you a good 10, 20 minutes, but you do find some droppings, a couple of footprints, or hoof prints. You got a
He
good
would
general
fall.
idea.
he would follow them, but he would also be paying attention to the trees, seeing if there's any claw marks.
I mean, since we're taking a break, while he's looking for meat and that stuff, I'm gonna look for like herbs and things to make potions of.
Nature check.
Really? You rolled from 19 to 3? 7.
7.
Getting
Okay.
bitched, bitch.
Shut up. You rolled from 19 to 1, bitch.
You find and you spend about an hour in the field and in the tree line looking for any kind of herb. You only
Herb.
really find some sage. But this one looks off. You'd have to consult your book to know why this one looks off.
Alright.
Because it smells like sage,
Then,
but it looks off.
while he's continuing to hunt, I'd be like, why is the sage weird? And I would pull out the book.
Okay. This is known as elder sage, so it is
Ooh,
very
good,
good for,
good.
huh?
The good.
So it is refined properly. It is used in divination potions, so like scrying potions.
Like my blue capped mushrooms with red rings.
I also said it was for divination.
Mm-hmm.
This is another.
Well, not divination, but scrying, if done right, otherwise poison/death.
Yep. This is possibly used in the same potion, maybe separate, maybe one stronger than the other. This is your first time encountering a blue cap mushroom with red rings. The mushrooms you're used to in the swamp.
This is elder sage.
Mm-hmm.
The blue cap mushroom
No, I know,
was
but
from in the prison.
I know, but that was your first time finding a blue cap. So the elder sage is used specifically in scrying potions, but not
You
used.
said divination. The mushroom was used in scrying. Elder
Sorry.
sage, you said divination.
Yep.
I'm mixing you up by bringing that up. I apologize.
No. It's accurate. So, like I was trying to say, it was your first time encountering a blue cap mushroom. The only thing you know in your book so far is blue caps are used in scrying potions. The Elder Sage says that it is used specifically for scry, if it is refined correctly. Not refined correctly, it is used as a hallucinatory drug. So maybe the blue cap is for something different, the book's not accurate, or it's a different type of scry.
Big kitty gonna go chase the dragon.
Puff the magic dragon. So, Dreas, no claw marks on trees.
He continues. He's chasing down this deer.
Okay. Are you trying to chase after as best you can? Are you trying to sneak up on it?
He'd be prowling, so he'd be wanting to sneak up on it, or at least locate it and then pounce.
Make me a stealth check.
17.
17. You are able to sneak up on it very well. You make me a perception check. Not advantage. This is smelling, not 4. Okay. And you're able to sneak up on the spot where you think it is. And you have eyes on its tail end. It's laying down.
He would dive and try and grapple it. I know where this is going, unfortunately.
Where is this going?
More of my people.
No. Not your people. You go and dive at it. You grab onto its hindquarters, and you now hear and smell and look up into the face of a very large wolf consuming the deer. And it just growls at you. Roll me initiative.
Woo, 18.
18. Let's see what the Wolfie gets. That is that plus. How do you turn off the sound effect, by the way? I guess I can
Of
just
what?
mute D&D Beyond. Of the die rolling.
Oh.
Mute D&D Beyond. That is gonna
With the
be
squishy noises.
12. So you get to go first.
All right, so I'm gonna start by, after I try to grapple the deer. He's going to stand up. He's gonna try and make himself look larger, and he's going to, um, bare his teeth and start growling back at the wolf, uh, to try and ward it off. See what his reaction is.
Make me an intimidation check.
I was at 21.
For a moment, the wolf looks scared, but it's also very mad and angry. You interrupted his lunch and tried to steal it, and he stands up and stands taller than you. And just howls. Stolt, you hear this. You hear a very deep, loud, angry howl coming from the woods.
All
and
right.
he's going to attempt to bite down at you.
Oh boy.
That is going to be a 19 to hit. Okay, that is going to be 2d6 plus 3. Okay, so you're taking 9 damage, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
11.
11. He grabs you and throws you to the side, and you become prone next to him. That is your turn. Stolt, what do you do after hearing the howl?
That was my turn?
Hang on. I'm seeing what he's doing first.
Well, I'm not going to take the time to put the book and the Elder Sage back in my backpack, so I'm going to drop my backpack and close the Elder Sage in the book and just fucking pull a weapon and go.
Okay, roll me initiative to see where you're going to land in it.
Initiative. Where is the button?
Right next to your armor class.
Yep, I had it in that's 22.
There you go. And your speed is 30?
35.
35. Next round, you will get to them.
Okay.
If you dash, then you will get to them next round. So,
Yep.
Dreas, Wolf, you. So, Dreas, what are you doing? It takes half your movement to stand up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stand up. It's rage time.
Okay.
And this is going to be a mean right hook to the wolf.
Okay.
There's a 13 hit.
You barely miss in your rage. You go just a little too low to get him, and you just glide right under his maw.
All right. That's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. Wolfie's going to attempt to attack you again. Same thing. Just gonna try and throw you around like a little rag doll. It's gonna be an 11 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. So he goes to bite you, and you're able to just grab the jaw and hold him off. Alright. Stolt. You get there as you see Dreas holding back the jaws of a giant wolf. Larger than
I
him.
can I get within 10 feet of it?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
You can get in 5 feet melee with him next round, but you can get up to 10 feet and still have an action.
He has reach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, seeing this massive wolf, I'm gonna look around and see if there are any others
Give me a perception check.
to make sure I'm not about to get completely face rolled by a group of fucking wolves.
Cheeks clapped, cheeks clapped, cheeks clapped.
21.
No, the wolf's in sight.
No, the wolves. I just wasted 2 really fucking good rolls. um, let's see. Back to
1, 1,
actions.
2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3.
First, I'm going to use my channeled divinity on Path to the Grave.
Okay.
The next damage it takes from me or an ally, it is vulnerable to all types of damage that hit it for
So,
that one next attack.
so it's vulnerable
So
to
it
any
takes
type
double
of
damage for
the next thing to hit it.
and then it fades.
Got it.
From me or an ally.
Right.
So like if he falls, it doesn't double the damage of him falling.
Yeah.
It's just and then as a bonus action,
Yes. Next needs a haircut. Still not longer than mine.
nope, I'm not gonna do that as a bonus action. I'm just gonna walk up, glaive out, and basically just go, Dodd's gonna see you soon.
Is that your turn?
Yep, and that's how I activate Path to the Grave.
Atreus.
Knock
Clap him
knock.
for double damage, my guy.
Well, knock knock. So
You're going in large?
yeah.
Alright.
This
I don't
wolf
like
is no
things are
longer
bigger than
bigger
me.
than I am.
I'm big now.
Alright. You get to roll an extra d6 onto your damage.
D4.
D4, right.
Alright. He's getting the left hook this time.
Haymaker, just. What did you roll?
He got a nat
20.
20.
Fucking 4 times damage, bitch! Because it's vulnerable to everything he hits it with for the first attack. This is why I wasted my attack attempt on giving you the shot, because you have stupid luck and I have worse luck than anyone ever.
Okay.
So how much damage do you deal?
So
So you just
what's your minimum damage?
my minimum damage I can roll with this is so it's 2, 6,
Sorry.
10.
What's your maximum damage rolled? Sorry, that's what I meant. It's not minimum maximum. What's your maximum damage rolled?
I mean just my first set of dice
Yeah, so
or
because you roll a d6 for damage?
D8
D8. So it's 8 plus your strength modifier.
plus 4. I
So
mean
that's
So that's
12?
12 straight off the bat, plus the 4 for being big and adding that. So that's a
actually it's
16.
14 straight off the bat plus 2 extra D4. So it's 14 straight off the bat because plus 2 since I'm raging.
Right.
And then
So what's
another
yeah? So what's your maximum damage of like max damage of just the one die roll?
Well, I mean, it's doubled,
Um,
so
I know I'm getting to that. So what's your
Yeah,
maximum damage straight out if you
you
didn't crit?
crit, so she's giving max damage to
the first set of
The
dice
first.
is
So what's the max you could get with your first set of dice?
first set of dice is that's just the 8 plus my strength mod, which is uh
So 12. No, so
it's
so
14.
all dice that you'll roll. Don't add your strength mod yet. So it's a
14 and
D8.
Oh,
So
a
it's a
D8
D.
plus a D4.
So
12.
12. Then your strength mod. So 16.
18.
18 because he's raging
Right,
and gets
18.
an additional +2.
So that's going to be 18 and then
32.
32.
Or no, that's 36. I'm
Yeah,
dumb.
so
It's
36.
36 and a single punch.
That's 36 in a single punch because he's vulnerable.
Plus,
2D4.
plus
Plus,
roll the last bit.
yeah.
Yeah, let me do
Plus,
this
plus
because
just roll.
Yes.
so there's that. That's 11
So that's 47.
plus 2D4.
Roll the 2d4.
An extra 4. That's an extra
51.
8. I mean, if it's doubled,
Yeah, because that would double as well.
So
So
that's 11 and 4, so 15, so 30. So
66
67.
damage and
Wait,
wham!
and then
I feel like the math is very wrong. I feel like just doing
And
2
then
dice
plus your
instead of maxing the
strength.
first set makes
so
things a lot
70
easier.
damage in a single punch.
If
How do you want to do this?
One hit
The
KO.
wolf
I'm
had 36 HP. You doubled his stamp. You did double his HP. You have
yes,
eviscerated this wolf. So how do you
You
want to
punch
do
him
this?
clean in the snout and his head flies out his ass.
What I would have done is I would have honestly. Would you allow me to just? I'm holding his jaws. Um, Stolt shows up and watches me tear his jaw.
Sure.
I mean, for aesthetic purposes, for my channel divinity
Because you
path to
said
the
because you said
grave,
you went for the
God
left
puts his
hook.
scythe around their neck to
It's
give them the
either I'm going to
vulnerability and
tear
pulls
his.
through whenever they hit.
I
Oh,
either
'cause you
would
said you punched him
tear.
with the left hook.
I would have gone for either a jaw tear or I would have thrown his jaw up and just gone straight up.
You
Just straight to the head. Just
you throw his jaw straight up. And as you do, you take in that deep breath. And what you tried to do back on the beach, the jaw just eviscerates and is just gone. It never existed. And you both hear a very audible as the neck is just torn asunder. He flies about 20 feet backwards, slamming onto the back, and just does not exist anymore.
I put up my fist to
KO.
Stolt. I put up my fist to Stolt for a fist bump.
Dodd. Bang.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
for
fucking
aesthetic
talking
purposes,
about.
whenever I do that channel divinity, Dodd's scythe appears around their throat, and the second somebody impacts into him, it just pulls.
I like it. So that's the momentum of it flying back too. You saw the
That's
scythe
the
fall back.
forced vulnerability. Yep.
One shot a fucking dire wolf.
At level 3!
Oh, you guys are level 4 now.
We're level 4 now.
Go ahead and level up. Go ahead and do that now so you guys can roll HP real quick.
I didn't lose any.
Oh, so you,
I'm
you want to
just giving
stay at the
shit.
health you have? You don't want to gain any more health with the level up?
I'm
Okay,
good.
cool.
I'll level. I'll level. I'm just being sassy.
So go ahead and roll HP right now.
um,
Also, are you guys taking level in cleric and fighter or fighter barbarian?
fighter.
Okay.
I'm also putting my level in 2 fighter.
Okay. Yeah, both of them are multi-classed. We've got Max as a barbarian fighter and Odell as a cleric fighter. So roll your respective HP die for fighter, which I think is a D10.
Yes.
Oh, the squishy. I got an 8.
Okay.
I
Above
got a
average.
7.
Both above average, though.
All right, so rolled. Oh, I can just add 8 to the rolled.
You guys can deal with your spells and extra stuff
41 health now.
later. Nice. How much do you have, Max?
37.
He'll outscale me like a monster, though.
Yeah, because barbarian.
I got a D10 and D8, and my main thing after level 3 in fighter is all cleric.
Yep. So what do you guys do after eviscerating this wolf?
The
I will
knuckle bump and the why do I even have this, and then resheath the glaive.
just for like you watch as a my size or my weight gets multiplied by 8 when I do that. So you just see like this fucking how large or how much do you think I grow when I do that? Because I go from
You go from
medium
medium
to
to
large.
large. So you're about 10 feet.
It's like
I
I
got
sort of
action surge.
you see as a sort of I shrink down just a little bit and it's like just, whatever you did, let's do it again sometime.
What's the wording on action surge specifically?
Second level, you push yourself beyond normal limits. On your turn, you can take one additional action. Once you use this feature, you must finish short or long rest before you can use it again. So
You-
I can take 2 actions, so I can cast a spell, channel divinity, and still attack.
Or cast 2 spells if you want.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thought you
I
couldn't
get
do
an
more
additional
than
full attack
one
or
level of spell
action.
in a turn.
Huh?
I thought you couldn't do more than one leveled spell in a turn.
That's because if you go wizard, you don't get action surge, so you literally get just that.
But action surge, he's pushing himself more. So he gets to do another
Which
action, and casting a spell is an action.
Well, you're the DM, so
Yeah, so I'm allowing him. I mean, I could not let him cast 2
cast
spells.
wish twice.
You only get one.
Busted.
You only get one
well,
ninth
I
level
was
spell.
going to save the wolf like skull, but that
Probably not.
It's powder. It's powder.
Yeah, no.
did any
It's
teeth
powder and
survive?
viscera.
Did any teeth survive?
Yes.
Roll me raw luck.
Ah,
That's a 7.
No. You've got a tooth fragment in your knuckle, but
I'll
no
pick it
actual
out.
big tooth.
I was gonna save some of the teeth, but I guess not. I'll go over and I'll grab the body, or at least I'll start trying to drag it towards the carriage.
All right, not a problem. You drag it.
um,
Halfway through
this
dragging it, your
deer,
enlarge fades.
this deer that it was trying to eat. What's up with that carcass? Is
Yeah,
it old? Is it freshly killed?
it's freshly killed.
Is it mangled to shit?
No,
Can I chop off the half that he was already like tearing apart? Or
you could probably chop off that part. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the deer's legs and just kind of to waste life is not okay.
There you go.
And hey, extra leather.
I was going to try and save some of the help. Also,
Mm-hmm.
uh, correction, I have 44 HP. My HP did not save for some reason, so I have 44 now,
Okay.
or 44 total.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should have outscaled me already.
Um, yeah, it didn't apply when I tried to change it.
No
Uh,
worries.
but yeah. So we, I'm still gonna try and bring it back.
Yeah, with some effort,
The
but
wolf? I mean, I have 18 strength. You have a decent amount of strength. We
I
can
have
pull it
18.
back together.
We
yeah,
both have 18 strength.
you guys each take a leg and just
Just busted fucking guy.
the.
What was the name of the elf again?
I didn't give him one.
A guy.
He's a half elf.
A
Carlos.
Hey,
guy.
knife ears.
Carlos.
Carlos. Carlos, do you know how to skin and prepare meat?
That's a large wolf.
Yes.
I drop a deer down beside it, and I'm like, well, we can practice with this one.
I'm only adept at. I can try. I've skinned a deer, but I've never skinned a. That's just large.
Yeah, I have never effectively skinned one.
If you'd like to, we're gonna reach the town tomorrow. We could just leave him as is and put him in the cart and take him to a butcher and a skinner.
Okay, and I huck the deer into the back of his wagon. That makes sense.
I'll just like, give me a hand with this as I pick up the front end of the wolf.
I'll grab its legs,
What happened to its
its
face?
back legs, and its fucking tail, and just kind of.
I'll just mean left hook.
Alrighty.
If you have little faith in the gods. That's the only thing he says. He helps huck this wolf carcass into the
Is there anything else you
into the thing.
guys want to do tonight, or is that all for the evening before you take your rest?
I don't. I do need a long rest because I did channel divinity. Damn it.
He's gonna mentally say, I do appreciate your power, Jerry, because it allows me to do shit like that.
Who?
This was in my head.
You didn't say that it was in your
Oh.
head.
Oh.
You didn't
I
say that
was-
first, so that was out loud.
I know I did say it was in my head. I guess my mic didn't
He was
pick it up.
talking to the bull,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and I got confused because
yeah.
of the name of the bull.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's your first name.
Yeah.
It does not fit. Like that's not you.
No.
I mean, it's just I don't.
Well, I guess he hears me say out loud, I really appreciate your power, because I can do shit like that. Yeah.
Me or the little spectral companion behind you.
Oh, both.
I don't know if he's there now, but
Oh no, he is.
okay.
And you see on his face because he's standing behind Dreas. He's looking at Dreas like, the fuck did you do? You just eviscerate a creature. Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? It's like, it's kind of like shock and awe and horror all at the same time. Is across this
Looking
bull's
directly
face.
at Jerry the bull.
And he's looking at you like,
He bit him. What did you want us to do? It attacked first. I send souls to Dodd. That's what I do. That is my job as his cleric. I prep bodies so they don't become undead, and I send souls to him.
I'll sort of look up at
That's
Jay and say,
it.
I realized my mistake, and I tried to hold my ground and to have him, back down a little bit, and he didn't, or it didn't. So
He looks
Oh,
to
we would know. We had to roll it over to throw it up here. We would know if it's swinging dong or not.
he he looks to Stolt. He looks to Dreas. He looks
Just
to Stolt.
saying.
He looks to Dreas. He looks to Stolt. He looks to Dreas. He looks back at Stolt and just says, "That that was terrifying." You actually hear him.
You sound far less dignified than I thought you would.
I haven't heard him like
What's
this.
dignified?
Don't worry about it. You do wonderful for him.
I regret giving him that power now.
No, no, don't regret. Just
That was
correct him.
terrifying. How
I feel
do
like
I
that's the-
correct him? Do I headbutt him?
You might not want to do that. His skull's probably as thick as yours.
Okay, I'll just do this instead. He turns around and kicks him. And
Oh.
because this is a mental thing, not a physical, you feel like you got kicked in the head.
Brain rattle.
So take 4 points of damage psychically. And you actually do see his head go.
No, you just lay in the bed. Just,
Little blood comes out the nose. Just. Ow!
You were hearing this the entire time too, Dreas, because this is going on in your head as
I
well.
know, I know. I didn't want to destroy the things. It was clearly weaker than I thought it was.
It wasn't weaker. You just hit hella harder than you thought you were going to.
You did the knock thing against the wolf. You could have flicked it with your pinky and it probably would have died. You didn't have to eviscerate its skull.
I did the
Be
knock.
lucky that wolves are not one of the god's favorite animals, so I don't have to kick you again.
There's not a god of hunt?
Well, no, us spirits, we were the 12 favorite animals of the gods. Yeah, there's a god of the hunt, but they don't have a favorite animal in the celestial, spirit group. There's only 13, but 12 of us.
Well, then who gets to pick an animal and who doesn't? That seems biased.
This was a long time ago when the gods roamed the earth. This wasn't any time recently.
Rude.
This was like thousands and thousands of years ago.
I like back to Jerry. It was larger than me. I expected it to be stronger.
Just because things are larger doesn't make them stronger.
I was
I
respecting.
mean, you learned that in the pit. You're bigger than she was, but she clapped them cheeks.
I was respecting its presence because it was very.
You pounced on its catch. You invaded its lunch.
And I tried to back down.
No. You tried to intimidate it.
You didn't
What?
back
That's
down.
not backing down. That's enticing fights.
You tried to scare a wolf. That wasn't backing down. Backing down would have been just leaving.
Well, if I tried to back down, it still would have come after me.
How do you know that for sure?
It had lunch in its mouth. What do you mean?
Do you not know how wolves treat their prey?
I do know how wolves treat their prey.
I know that the majority of nature only eats when it's hungry and doesn't kill unnecessarily.
You're not helping.
You're not listening to a spirit favored by the gods that's based in nature. About nature.
I was also expecting there to be more. Usually, wolves don't travel solo. unless it's been kicked out of the pack.
That means we don't want to stick around here and find the rest of the pack. Uh, Carlos? Carlos.
Yep.
Uh, is he in the wagon?
He's like unhooking the horses or the horse because
Oh,
it's
it's nighttime,
yeah,
not
it's
morning.
nighttime. No, it's nighttime. What's up?
I point to the wolf's carcass. If that was in this woods, should we stop here?
There's a lot of stuff in this woods.
My point is, if this hunter is in this woods and it's at this side, it could probably kill your horse and all of us in our sleep if one of them roams too close and is hungry tonight. Should we stop here? Is that smart?
Don't you adventuring types like take turns sleeping or something?
Don't you driver types just sit in the cart and drive?
Oh, that was rude.
So was
Just,
yours. I am a cleric of Dodd. I am not an adventuring type.
just
You made an assumption. You were rude first.
stole. Just, he's actually right. We're also
I'm
paying
not
him to. We're also paying him to take us there.
exactly. So shouldn't he want to actually arrive instead of, I don't know, becoming something's lunch by accident at night?
If he has a death wish, he has a death wish.
Fuck. If he dies, we have to take turns pulling the cart, because I'm not trying to carry that wolf the whole way. Because if he dies, the horse is probably going to die too.
You guys are morbid. He kind of settles down into his seat.
You're not too bright for someone who lives on the road. You don't stay in a predator's territory to sleep.
The only reason why I'm not concerned is because I've traveled this road many, many a times, and that's the first time I've ever seen a large wolf like that.
So you're complacent. That's a bigger problem, because that's when issues really arise.
Stole. If there were more of them around, they would have been here already. When it howled, it's alerting the pack.
To keep a predator that large fed the way it looks to be means there has to be something around here worth eating. So if everything around here is that big or worth eating like that, that means that there are other large predators that might not have been a part of its pack. Not trying to deal with that.
How about this? I'll take the first watch shift, and then you can take the second.
Fine, I'll just sleep in the back of the cart when we're going.
I'm gonna cuddle up to the wolf that's taking up the entire back of the cart except for like one of the benches.
No, I'm just gonna sleep on the bench.
Okay.
I'm not trying to cuddle on a carcass.
So Stolt's taking the first rest?
And I'll say to Jerry in my head, I'm genuinely sorry I did that with your power. I was trying to respect the wolf because I didn't know how strong it was, or if there were more around. I didn't know that's what would happen.
At the very least, you didn't let it suffer?
That's one
It
way to
didn't
put it.
have time to?
Yeah, basically.
One hit. Boom.
That's like the equivalent of just flicking it and just go pop.
That's the equivalent of episode 1 of One Punch Man. I
But
beat the
yeah,
bad guy.
yeah, just I was trying to respect it because I didn't. It it hurt. It hurt when it bit. When it bit.
Oh, yeah, sharp teeth of a giant wolf.
I'm just. I'm going to quickly sort of listen out and see if I hear anything.
2 hours have turned to 4.
No, it's 2 hours 48 minutes. So we're going to.
Yeah,
We're ending
just
soon. There's a couple of things.
making
I
me
mean, sleepy
shut the
boy
fuck.
over there.
Last thing.
I'm going to listen out for anything that sounds like it's moving around us.
Perception check with advantage.
Anything rustling throughout. 12.
12. Besides the um little critters, tiny little sounds of like night creatures moving about, nothing really.
And
You do hear once again, help, help us. Wisdom saving throw.
14.
14.
My backpack is under my head.
He's not fucking going for it.
The urge is there and you move towards Stolt for a moment, but you're able to stop yourself. As your hand is stretched out towards Stolt, you stop yourself. As you still hear, help us.
I'll take it back and I'll quietly, I'll say it in my head. Jerry,
Hey, Clogmore. That's an interesting name. Welcome.
I don't like. Can you help? I know I heard a lot about the bad voices thing. I think this is part of it. Is there anything you can do to help me? If you see me going for that gem, kick me.
Brain rattle.
Okay.
I don't like that gem. And just, I touched it. And now just something about it just, I want to have it, but I don't. And I don't like that. Like, I know I don't, but something in me wants it.
I'll try my best.
Thank you, Jerry. And that's where we'll really, that's all I'm going to do for my shift.
Yep. What does Stolt do for his shift? Just so we can pick back up on Wednesday. If you two are available on Wednesday evening.
Will be.
So what are you going to do for your shift so that when we pick back up, we'll just pick right up to you guys getting down?
I'm going to stand about the middle of our camp, and in a 30-foot radius around the camp, I'm going to use small trimmers with thaumaturgy to kind of scare any animals that are in the area away from the location.
Okay. Sounds good. You do that, keeps the critters at bay, keeps any little rodent or whatnot away. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
That's This is literally my shift.
Give me an insight check.
Oh my. Oh, that's squishy.
Ooh, dirty 20. As you swapped shifts for the night, you noticed Dreas did have a very anxious, confused, worried look on his face. Like he was struggling with himself. And with that, we will pick this back up on Wednesday. Wednesday is the 30th. That is my affiliate anniversary stream. So I'm going to be going basically all day long streaming on Wednesday, which is awesome. And the plan is to do the D&D, this stream kind of later in the evening. Not too super late, obviously, to make Max dip super late. But this was like a last minute idea that I had, and they were down for it. So I wanted to get to this point before the affiliate anniversary stream if possible. But yeah, keep in touch for that. Come on back on Sunday morning when I stream next. So we'll see you guys then. Bye.